Hi, everybody. I'm Jerry. That's Gizmo. And Linda can't be with us today. She's up in Virginia babysitting 5 grandkids. Both the Linda sisters were able to go with her, so I'm sure they've got the situation well in hand. I did hear the first day that they lost one, but they found him, so it's all good. We're glad you could be here today. We've got some great questions and some good viewer letters I want to share with you. I want to share our district utility bill. It comes every month. I'm going to itemize it, show you line by line all the charges, so stay with us for that. We're going to talk about some rodents that have gotten into people's homes and other intruders, and got some good questions for you. So welcome to
Send us your questions, we've got your answers. Jerry and Linda's Mailbag Monday.
You know, Linda was really disappointed when she couldn't go to that baby shower about 10 days ago. Stranded, missed 3 flights at the airport. Well, she made this one. I guess everything's back on track.
If you guys wondering why we're not boarding, we're waiting on flight attendants. They're coming from 107. They should be in about 5 minutes. So give us a couple more minutes, we'll get you guys going. Thanks for your patience.
Getting ready to go visit my grandchildren in Virginia, heading to DC airport. It's pretty interesting because today, the first time I've ever seen dogs sniffing around the area. That might be something new. So wish us luck. We're going to have a great week. My sisters and I are going to babysit some beautiful children. We're going to have a great time. Talk to you later. Bye.
We sure miss her, don't we, buddy? She'll be back in a few days, though. Let's have some shout outs. First to Joe and Mary Carey. And Joe, here you are on your first day of retirement. Congratulations. That is absolutely great. And here's Kevin and Teresa from Illinois. They just bought a home site in Hawkins. And we're going to break the rules and do a little shout out to Kevin's boss, Jamie, who's going to be a villager very soon. Here's Tom and Heidi of Rio Vista, California. And that's Lisa and Bob from Massachusetts. They just finished a lifestyle stay and they had a good time. Here's Psyche, P-S-Y-C-H-E. I hope I said that right. A lovely young lady that saw us in Fiesta Grand Restaurant and came over to chat, and we got a picture with her. Let's get right to our first question. Does there come a time when you no longer need the app to get around, but you become familiar with routes and how to get from point A to point B? If so, how long did it take you to get familiar with how to get around without using an app? That's from John and Bonnie in Ohio. Everybody, when they come here, is in a tizzy. We all get lost. We're all struggling. But you catch on a little bit at a time. You learn your immediate neighborhood, then you branch out a little bit. I couldn't tell you how to get to some places down in Fenney and Linden and DeSoto and McClure. I'll need the app. I couldn't tell you how to get to certain streets up in Spanish Springs or even Buttonwood. There's so many different neighborhoods and so many little roads. We rely on that app. There are 2 apps now. One of them is free. It's the Village's GPS. But there's another version of it that's $6.99 that works a little better. And it has the names of all the neighborhood pools, all the rec centers, shopping destinations, all the neighborhood. It's great. So that's what I would do if I were you. Invest that $6.99. It's good forever. Dennis asks if I can walk him through the process of making tea times. Dennis, I could, but that's a show in itself. We'll do that in the future. That's going to take some explaining. But he further asks, if it's Wednesday, for example, and you want to golf on Friday or Saturday, are all the tea times going to be full? In the heat of the summer, no problem at all. You can get the tea times. But right now, it is tough. Your best bet is to get that villages.com net subscription that allows you to make your tee times on the computer. Otherwise, you're doing them on the telephone. And if you want to play on a day, like say, for instance, today, if I wanted to play, I have to actually call the course, talk to the person on duty, and see if there are any openings, which I'm betting there would be very few. Now, Dennis, it's a lot easier for one player to squeeze in somewhere than it is for two. And two is easier than three, and so forth. So your best bet is to join a group in your neighborhood, and you'll have a person designated to request those tee times on the computer, and they'll set you up. Now, that also could be another show in itself. They will give you a tee time based upon how much golf you've been playing. The people that play the most will not be able to get a tee time in busy season as much as the people that don't play as much. Chris writes, I'm curious to know when you go play golf with your golf group, do you play more executive courses or championship courses? Chris, if you follow our channel closely, you know that I am a notorious tightwad. I'm not going to pay $45 to golf, so I play mostly executive. But during the summer months, you can play championship golf, 9 holes for $10. You can play 18 holes after 3 o'clock for $20. Now it's getting too dark this time of year to do that. So you can still get 9 holes in cheaply, but that's going to change here real soon. December 31st, I think that changes, and it'll go back to winter rates, which make it cost prohibitive for me to play. But a lot of people still do. They'll pay, but the executive is totally free. You have to pay your trail fee, $4, if you want to ride in a golf cart. John and Bonnie say they see plates hanging in front of homes listing the residents' first names, sometimes the state they're from, and some even have dog bone shapes below their names with their furry family members' names. Where can we purchase those cute little nameplates? Those are for sale in a variety of places. We got ours at the Thursday market night in the square. In fact, when we bought our home, our sales agent had a gift certificate in there, and we went down and used that to buy our sign. He didn't quite give us enough to buy that sign, but we chipped in. I would say the average sign there is going to be about $80. That's just a guess. This is a great letter. Jeff sent this, and he said that he and his wife, along with a few other couples, just got back from a week-long stay in the Villages, their first time here. They rented a designer home that had a pool and an outdoor kitchen, and it backed up to a championship golf course. Take a look at some of these pictures of this home that they rented. Jeff said that the cost of that home for the week was $1,500. And they split that among 3 families. So it came to $560 per family for a week of resort-type fun in the Villages. I'd say that's a really good deal, Jeff. Thanks for sending that. I'm sure a lot of people enjoyed it. That neighborhood that home was in, by the way, is a good neighborhood. It's called the Village of Hadley. They were well known for their Christmas displays for years. I think they've since discontinued that, but it's a neighborhood between Brownwood and Sumter Landing, a little bit closer to Sumter Landing. Speaking of lifestyle stays, David and Paige said in the event that a lifestyle visit slot is not available, what do you recommend we see and do on our own to get a good feel of the village life? This is probably our number one question. I answer this every day, but I'm going to put it out there for all of you. If you rent a home here, that's fine. You're not going to get a lot of the amenities that are included in a lifestyle visit, but I think they just bumped up the price because it's high season. It's the winter, and it's fall and winter are desirable weather. Today is beautiful here, so it's bumped up a little bit. But if you have a lifestyle stay, you're going to get a golf cart, a beautiful 3-bedroom villa probably. You're going to get tickets to a concert or a performance somewhere. You'll get a pass to play golf free a couple of times on championship or executive while you're here. You're just going to have a lot more opportunities to use the amenities, and you'll have a pass to do various things. So it's a good deal. And that's not what you ask, though, is it? You asked me, what if you didn't get one? Well, make sure you get a golf cart. It's hard to rent them now. They're in high demand. But once you have a rental with a cart, you can explore all the town squares. You can visit neighborhoods. You can pick out an area that just makes you feel good. That's the main thing. Find an area where you really feel good. This area spoke out to us. We liked where we looked here. When my house came available, we knew we wanted to live in this area. You all know we bought it sight unseen, and we lucked out because it's a beautiful house in a beautiful neighborhood with quiet people around, and it's just great. But you'd be better off getting to know it. We dodged a bullet. You come here and do your homework and visit and explore, and you'll find out what you like. Susan asks, do you think it's worth it to have your garage ceiling insulated? Good question, Susan. Those garages get hot. Now, you can buy a fan. It has to be professionally mounted because it's going to go through your roof, and it will have a thermostat. And when your attic heats up to a certain temperature, it's going to blow that air out. But the air that it's bringing in is also hot. Your garage is going to be hot. It is extremely hot in the summertime. That's why you see people leave their garage doors open. They're hoping to bring a breeze through there and cool it off. Things that we've left in the attic have been fine, with the exception of some plastic things that overheated, luggage in particular. When we took it out and used it the next time, the wheels all fell apart. They had just baked up there in the attic, I guess. But, use your own judgment, but we kind of think that no matter what you do, that attic is still going to be hot. I would insulate it. Ours has a ton of insulation. And here's over the garage. You can't insulate the entire attic over the garage if you have a space for storage like this. We could have very small rolls of insulation under that floor, but not much. Here's the radiant barrier that you hear us talk about. It's a metallic barrier to repel the heat. It also repels your cell phone signal. It's warm up here, but it's not beastly hot, but it would be in the afternoon. John and Kathy, speaking of garages, sent us a note that said we wanted to share a recent video of an unwelcome pest that somehow has made its way into our garage. We set some of our own traps, but our new friend figured out how to avoid them. We had our pest control company come and they set things up to help. And since then, our new friend has not been seen. We hope it's moved on. Take a look. Oh my gosh, did you see that rat? That was a beast. I would hate, and I know that you folks would hate that to be crawling around in your garage. That's why people are encouraged to keep their garage doors closed, which contributes to the heat. But you don't want that or this. That's a black racer. Now that is a non-venomous snake. It's a good snake. It's a snake that will eat that rat if it could get a hold of it, and mice and bugs. So those are not bad snakes to have around if they don't give you a heart attack. It's much better just to shoo them off. Call somebody that's not afraid of them and let them take them to the preserve, or heck, you can bring them here and put them in our yard for all I care. We also enjoy swimming for exercise. This is from Paige. We're intrigued with the possibility of having a vacation house near a pool. Are most of the pools long enough for lap swimming? Paige, I'm going to tell you yes, but there are sports pools, and they are a bit longer. But our pool, for example, at the postal station, it's a nice pool. It's 5 feet deep on one end and 3 feet deep on the other. You can swim long laps there. It's all I can do to get down there and back. So, you may have it long enough. And people walk every day. They go there for exercise walking. When you walk in the pools here, you walk across. You don't walk the long distance, because that way you get the same depth for your entire walk. If you walk the long distance on our pool, you'd be going from 3 feet to 5 feet. So I think they are long enough for you to get some exercise. I know it wears me out. Chris and Jesse have a question about the Morse Boulevard and Miller Boulevard area. I see there's a landfill in that area. Have you heard of any complaints about noise and smell from the landfill? That is a great question. I mean, you would not be doing your due diligence if you didn't ask questions like that before moving to an area. We know exactly where that landfill is. We play golf all around it. There are actually 5 golf courses around that. There are no homes close to that landfill. Now, there might be some several hundred yards away, but we play golf at Escambia Golf Course, which borders it. Volusia Golf Course borders it. Okeechobee borders it. Belglade borders it. And Sarasota's right there. So they left a lot of natural area around that landfill. Be honest with you, though, when I'm playing at Volusia sometimes, I catch a whiff of it. You can smell it. But it's not anything that I would consider moving or not buying a house, because they're pretty far away from it. You always have to make your own. You may be more sensitive to smells than that. Chris and Jesse wrote, in addition, there was also a complaint about the cement processing area that is just south of Finney. They complained about blasting every day. Now, I'm not sure what type of blasting they'd be doing. Okay, I called and checked on this. In fact, I called the cement plant, which is what you were talking about. But then you mentioned blasting, so I think that's the quarry, which is just down the road from the cement plant. And I hope to get a tour of both of those to kind of show you guys. I did talk with them about the blasting. The blasting does not happen very often, a few days a month, and not during the evening hours. I've read next door and people said they heard big booms at 3 a.m. and they thought they were blasting. They don't do that at 3 a.m. There are ordinances against that. We are about 40 miles from the Ocala National Forest, where they do some military weapons testing. So you could be hearing booms from up there. I still wouldn't think it would happen late at night. But the people that we have talked to about Finney and Linden and DeSoto and Monarch Grove and all those places down there the people we know have not heard anything or seen anything or complained about the cement plant or the blasting in the quarry. But we'll try to find out more about that and bring it to you. We hear more complaints about the prison. Here's a graphic that's going to show you where the prison is. It's fairly closely situated to the McClure area, the Monarch Grove area. You can see there. I also asked a good buddy that lives right in the last row of houses, the closest person probably to that prison. And when the wind blew just right, he heard a couple of announcements. He could faintly hear them, but he has not been disturbed by the bright lights or the announcements at the prison. You do your research and go look at it and find out where that prison is and find out where that sand pit is and find out where the quarry is, and, make your own mind up as to whether you want to live that close to it or not. The people we've talked to are good with it. John and Deb want to know, do you find you eat out most of the time? If you do cook, do you still cook the dishes you've always cooked, or have you refined your meals more to meet the demands of your busy life? We are much busier here than we were back in Indiana. And Linda is a fine, fine cook. And you can see she's a tremendous cook. We do eat out. We eat out probably 3 to 4 times a week. But I have friends. We have friends that eat out every night. They may eat breakfast or lunch at home and eat dinner out every night. That's expensive. If 2 people have a $20 meal each, $20 a meal is about right for supper here around here. And that's without any alcohol. So that's $40 a day. If you do that 7 times a week, that's $280 a week. You do that for a month, you're over $1,000 per month for eating out supper. That's a lot of money. Luckily, Linda's a good cook. I mean, she cooks just like she always has. But when you retire, eating out's kind of a recreational activity. We like to do it, and likes to give her a break too, although she, like I said, she loves to do it. But we eat out. Some of our favorites are Oakwood Smokehouse, Metro Diner, iBarbecue, Stavros, Paisanos, Artman's Barbecue, Texas Roadhouse. Personally, I'd take KFC over any of them. But yeah, we still do eat out, but not as much as some folks. Speaking of KFC, I'm on a big diet. Man, I've been eating one meal a day for the last 2 or 3 weeks. You probably thought I was wasting away when you saw me here on camera. Don't be alarmed. I'm not sick. I'm just on diet. I told you we would talk about our district utility bill. Let's do that. Each month we get a bill. That bill includes, I've got a copy of mine right here, and I'll put it on the screen for you there. Our water usage. Now that's our house water, our drinking water, our dishwashing water, our bath water, our outdoor spigots water. And that's just called the water base and water use. And you can see that's not bad. You know, that's only $12 for our regular water per month. It said that we used 1,860 gallons. You know, that doesn't sound like much, but that's about 58 gallons a day. 58 gallons is a lot of water. But believe me, we used more than that back in Indiana, especially when we had the kids home. The other water that's listed there is irrigation. That's the killer. Now, we've tried to be thrifty on it. Ours came to about $22.53 for irrigation last month. That's what comes on 2 times or 3 times a week. You set the timer to water as long or as little as you like. My neighbor right over here, you can't see his house. One day I looked out there and his sprinklers were going off and he had Old Faithful in his yard, blowing straight up. Not only did that limit the water coming out of his other sprinklers, that's going to give you a high water bill. That's a gusher. So I called him. He was out of town at the time, and he had to send a sprinkler guy over to fix that. I've heard lots of horror stories where people, especially snowbirds, got a bill that said $300 or $400 for water. That's because their irrigation water was leaking. So you want to make sure you have a good neighbor, if you're a snowbird, that can keep an eye on your property for you. Going down the list, next is the sewer. Back in Indiana, there was squabbles lots of times because some sewer bills would be up near $100. But here you can see it's pretty reasonable. It was $25.63. Again, that's because we didn't use much house water. That sewer bill is based upon the amount of water that you use inside your house. Our district utility bill, every time we'll have an amenity fee. Ours has gone up twice. Now it's $168.66. You can see it there. And started out at $159. So in 3 years, it's gone up $9 and some. Then you have your garbage fee. That's called sanitation collection. $22.96. It was $18 and something, or $19, and then something happened, a change in companies or something, and now we pay a little more. But I'm going to tell you, these guys are good. I mean, we put this out and we bundle it and package it the best we can, but they do a good job of coming when they are supposed to come, and they do a good job of picking it up. All in all, that whole bill every month comes to around $250. This month's bill was $253.47. If you look over on the left side of that graphic there, you can see there are 2 sets of bar graphs. The short go month by month, October, December, February. The short one is our house water. The tall one is our irrigation water. You can see that irrigation water has been much, much more than our home water. Well, that's a good look at the district utility bill. I hope it was helpful for you. This will be a recurring bill that everybody here is going to get. Everybody. Martin and Teresa say, here in Texas, The major grocery stores have delivery service. For example, we are Walmart Plus members and get grocery deliveries for free. Do grocery stores in the villages offer that service? Yes, they do. We know that Walmart offers it, and we know that Publix offers it. We have not done it. We do the order online and pick it up. We'll pull up into the parking space. They have an app where you tell them you're in parking space 3 and your car is white, and within 2 minutes, boom, they're out there with their carts and they'll load up your car. They also do have the service where you order and they'll bring it to your house. But they do, I think, we haven't done it, but my research has told me that they mark up the price of the groceries, and then you either have to buy a service or a plan that will bring them to you. So be aware that your groceries will cost a little more for that added convenience. Here's our last question. From Dick and Shetty. From Alto, Michigan. Do you know if the Medicare Silver Sneakers fitness program is accepted in any of the fitness facilities in the villages? I believe they do accept it. We have something called Renew Active that is a benefit for United Healthcare Medicare members. So we use that done at the MVP Fitness Center. I'm pretty sure that there are centers here, if not even MVP, that do take the silver sneakers. It was very popular back in Indiana. So I think so. But just make a phone call to the fitness centers. Google the fitness centers around the villages. Call them, ask them if they take silver sneakers. I'm betting they do. You have been a good boy. Are you ready for your segment? All right, here we go.
You know, I just love where I live, and I love the fact that Mommy and Daddy take me for walks. But that concrete, it gets hot in the summer, so I like to walk in the grass. But these people put these signs out. Please keep off the grass. Now look, you see, they think that I'm going to destroy their grass if I pee-pee. But look at this fire hydrant. Here's one of my favorites. You can see the grass is really green around it. And look at this light pole. Come on, the grass looks great. I hit that baby every day. But still, they put these signs out. I'll show you my absolute favorite fire hydrant. It's right here. See, I'm going to walk up to it here and show you. You can see, I go here every single day, 2 or 3 times a day. That grass isn't dead. So why did they put these signs out? I don't know. But I tell you, we have good neighbors, but sometimes I think they love their grass more than they love their neighbors. Well, after that, I really don't feel like joking, but our dear, dear friend Marie Godevsky sent us this riddle. Do you know what you call the horse that lives next door? He's your neighbor. A neighbor. Get it?
Good boy, Gizmo. That's a good boy. On Thursday, we have a show about the outdoor fitness centers in the villages. They are located 7 different spots throughout. In fact, just 2 days ago, I was driving by Eisenhower Rec Center, and I saw that they put up a brand new outdoor fitness center. It still had the plastic on it. That is going to be deluxe. It is in a beautifully shaded area of live oaks right on the corner of Buena Vista and 44A. So be sure and check that out. You folks that live around Brownwood, the Lofts, whatever, that'll be a nice little walk over there. Go up there and feel the burn.
Mailbag Monday.
Thanks, everybody that wrote questions and that we bumped into and just said hi on the street. We appreciate every single one of you. As my bride would say, until then, see you when you get here.